Hey, you know I do. Hey, might be. Hey, we blown in the sky and we drinking. People, you need to be able to keep up. All right. And I might get behind a Lambo saying, "No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding. That's not funny. That part's not funny." All right. What are we looking at right here? What are we looking at?
Do it. All right, so this is the Bitcoin chart from, well, let's see, that goes all the way to the beginning of 2022 there. So from the very top, right, we made it to about 67K. That was the high before we dropped. And it's been falling, and now it's recovering. Now, what I believe is happening here is the what you could call the Wyckoff theory, right? I'm just going to pull up an image of what that looks like. And this has happened before on Bitcoin, right? And that's just like the previous time when it fell. So the previous time it was up at 64-ish before it fell. We saw that play out as well. So the Wyckoff theory, essentially, let me pull up an image over here. Right, so is this idea of where you have a phase of accumulation, then it runs up, then there's the point where there's a distribution phase when it comes down, and this kind of repeats. And you spoke earlier about like trading psychology, and I think that plays a massive part in what this is doing. So we have this essentially a scheme that has been drawn out, and you can see it in many charts. Like no matter which chart you pull up, you can see this over a period of time. So I think this is what is happening with Bitcoin right now for the second time. And where I believe we are right now is just right there at that resistance point, the high resistance point, which is shown over there. And looking at this, that would be essentially what we have here around 40, where are we right now? 47K. So I think this might pull back if it's following this Wyckoff theory, right? I think it's probably going to pull back to about where it was before, around low 30s, before all of this plays out and it moves.
Whoa. You said it's going to pull back to the low 30s is what you're thinking? See, we are at the top of the cycle right now. You said it might get a pullback to the low 30s.
Well, maybe not low 30s. So I'm just giving guesstimations here because ultimately, obviously, there are other factors that play into this, right? News, there's a halving that's going to happen, but, a general idea of how that is moving.
So let me ask you this, and I love your TA too. Much appreciate you showing this. Same as I told your partner in crime, you both are welcome to have a slot on our channel whenever. Just let us know. How much do you factor in fundamental analysis when you do TA? I will say I do make a lot of fundamental analysis calls, but folks on the back end, I do sometimes go look. I don't do TA anymore, but I do have some trusted people. I look at their TA, which kind of helps me with my fundamental analysis as well. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, let's say Bitcoin Conference 2022 next week, the charts are saying one thing, and then on Thursday, somebody comes to the stage and be like, guess what, everybody? We got this new project, we got this new partnership, and we're doing all this with Bitcoin. And this is one of those things where it's like, oh my God, like President Byron just said they're doing all this with Bitcoin. Like, so how do you factor in fundamental analysis when you do your TA?
I guess that improve finance and everything else that comes with it, really an opportunity to change the way that the current system is, which is a difficult part, right? Getting people's minds outside of that. And I think that plays into the fundamentals of Bitcoin as a whole as well, people learning more about it. So how does that affect TA? I'm not sure. I think it just kind of behaves like news, right? Maybe someone may come up with something hype, like you said, and you might pump up the price for a bit. But I think ultimately it's about the long-term goal.
So really quick, last one. So when you do TA, let's say you charge some TA like this is what I think, Bitcoin next 2-3 days, a couple weeks, this is what I think we're looking at. And then you do get some type of black swan event or big announcement. Would you redo your TA based off of those new market conditions, or you just kind of keep it to where you had it at? Would you do a combination of both?
Well, if it's Bitcoin and it's a black swan event and it drops, first of all, you buy more. That's what I was saying.
He said it's simple.
Yeah, first of all, you buy more, and then you just wait for things to kind of stabilize again, because then TA it's probabilities, right? It's nothing is 100%. It's a general idea of where things go, and when it's going well, it's going well, and if something else happens, like when say we did some TA, I think it was last year when China stopped Bitcoin mining, and it was looking good, but then when China shut down the miners, that's something you can't see, so it drops, and then you wait for whatever to happen after that before you
Listen,
maybe start getting some accuracy.
fundamental analysis is the steering wheel. TA is the gas pedal.
I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stack Crypto channel. It's your boy Brazen.
And your boy Double O.
And that was a video of us about, a month ago?
Yep.
On the Gentlemen of Crypto channel. Shout out to those guys, Bitcoin Zay and King Bless. We were on there doing some Bitcoin technical analysis, and that is what we said. We said what we said. Right?
We said what we said.
We said what we said. But, okay, before we jump into that, obviously, man, we've been gone for a while. Double O, what has been going on, man?
Bitcoin Conference 2022. That was
amazing. We went to that.
Amazing.
That was awesome.
That was a lot of stuff, man. We should
A
have
lot
done
of good
videos
stuff
about.
there.
But then
Absolutely.
I got back, and I'm not sure what happened, man. Double O got sick. But
Was it the Rona? Was it the Rona, bro?
I don't know, man. Well, I did a test, a personal test, and they said it wasn't the runner. So it must have been the change of atmosphere, That nice sunny weather, back to this cold weather over here. My body was like, send me back to Florida.
Listen, brother, it is good to have you back. We're excited that you're back on the show. I'm glad that you're feeling well, right?
Thank you.
It's never a good thing when anyone is not feeling good. For me, I decided I should take this opportunity while you were down to have myself a moment of relaxation, some decompression, okay?
Yeah.
Rejuvenate myself so that we can come back to the channel with maximum energy. And we are here now.
Fire.
Okay. Yes. So in this video, we're going to be giving you guys an update on Bitcoin. I'm going to be doing some technical analysis, really just reiterating and pointing out what we are seeing with the price action right now. And of course, Double O, you'll be giving us some more details on what is going on with the overall picture with Bitcoin.
Put some sauce on the juice.
I like it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, let's jump right into this thing here, right? So Bitcoin, by the way, if you have seen the charts this morning, we're sitting around $38,800 and $829 now. I'm gonna share my screen so we can see what we have going on. Did you think it was gonna make it this low, by the way?
Oh yeah. That was that moment where it went up to like 41K, 42K, and I was like, stop scaring me, man. This trend is still downwards.
Look, man, sometimes we do the technical analysis, and I know not everyone believes in technical analysis and things like that, but the fact of the matter is the markets are human psychology. This is the basic of it, no matter where you are, right? And you can pull up any chart and do these things, and the results always, trending the same way, right?
Yeah, they say if you are trading, just stick to your plan.
That is the most important part. Having a plan in the first place is always the most important part. And our plan with Bitcoin has been long term, right? It has been forever.
Yes.
Now, in the video which we shared with you guys at the beginning there, we were on the Gentlemen of Crypto channel, and the technical analysis which we did on Bitcoin back then, we came to this realization that Bitcoin is following a pattern, or what we would call the Wyckoff distribution theory, right? This has some points of support. You have your preliminary support, and I'm gonna pull up the image of the Wyckoff theory here as I run through this. And we've spoken about this a couple times on the show.
Yep.
Now, you have your preliminary support, which is right there at the very top, and then you have a selling climax, which would be the very first SC, which you see there, right? Automatic rally. Then you have a support test, right? And then you have another support test, which happens twice there, and then you go back up and you test the highest point of resistance, and then it drops back into a spring that is usually the deepest pullback.
Yep.
Before the run up. Now, over time, we've been slowly following Bitcoin and just trying to get a general idea. These things are not going to be 100%, but you can get an idea of what is going on. So if we look at the Wyckoff theory, which I just showed you there, and compare this to the Bitcoin chart, we've just been throwing some plots here. We have that preliminary support level there.
Yep.
into a selling climax, an automatic rally somewhere there, and then we have now this one is just ignore that one because I wasn't sure, right? We've been slowly tracking it, but we can see that we have two secondary tests that have happened here, right? Same as in the Wyckoff theory, just slightly above that selling climax, and now we're waiting for what would be the spring, right? That would be the final lowest point there on the Wyckoff theory, the spring. And this is where we ask ourselves now, when I said on Gentlemen of Crypto's channel that I think this is going to pull back to about low 30s to mid 30s, this is why I said that, right? But again, things are not always 100%, so you always have to kind of account for error or changes or unexpected things, right?
Yeah, sure.
So in this situation, I think that this is where we'll see that biggest pullback. I'm thinking maybe somewhere around 37-ish before we have a move up. But that's where I am with that on the Wyckoff theory. Other than this, all right, there's just a few other key points that is also always good to look at. One of those is going to be your Fibonacci extension, right?
Yes, sir.
We know that once we are sitting at that 0, so we have the 0, the
Strong
0.236, right?
Strong support.
618, 78, and of course the 1, which is usually a terminating point. If things run up to there, they tend to pull back. We have seen that hold, right, as well. So that is working. The 0 Fibonacci is usually a strong support. Things tend to hold there and then move up, or if it breaks below that 0, then we're moving down. So we have to wait for that possibility right now. We can already see that it already tested that and it's pulled back above it. So we're waiting to see what happens with that Fibonacci situation there. The final thing that I will also point out is going to be our EMAs. We are below the 200 EMA, which is usually the strongest, right? And when anything's below the 200, man, I'm buying. That is just my rule of thumb.
Not financial advice, but we're buying.
Absolutely no financial advice. Please do your own research, right? And of course, there's a new indicator which we have here, the super trend momentum indicator. And this one it's been proving to be pretty stable as an indicator as far as the buying and selling signals. So we're still tracking this one, and we'll give you more details on that when we can. Double O.
Yeah. Hey, Double O in his house. I'm gonna add to what Brazen just said just now. So just take a look at my charts. Everything is said on point. Now, people sometimes don't want to believe in patterns, but if you see it right in there, we had that double bottom right there, right? Again, patterns is all part of your technical analysis. Double bottom, boom, to the top. Stopped right there at the 0, came back down. Now, this is what we're seeing right here. We saw this in October of November, and we thought things were off. There's a huge sell volume going on down here, right? And then you have the TTM squeezing up, but the price action is going down. This is why I'm thinking that there's still a possibility that the support level might not hold, and it might fall a little bit down to look for that spring. Now, we have this yellow line here because that's what we think that's the strongest resistance or like support level.
Yeah.
But May is a month of where we're expecting legislation or some kind of information to come out on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. That could create some serious FUD. We're starting to see little pieces of FUD out there in the media right now. Oh, Ukraine is saying no to Bitcoin and whatsoever. That could make it go down. Now, where is that spring? We don't know. But I personally think that we could go for that lower 30s, like you mentioned in that video.
Right.
34, 32 is possible.
But
we have some major support that would basically have to fight that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's something to just keep an eye out for. But in the meantime, man, the moment I saw Bitcoin at 38K, dude, the first thing I did was buy more. So
this morning.
Yeah.
I need to get some because I was looking at it all through the night last night. But that is it right there. So now let's see what else is going on with Bitcoin, right? So we have this bubble chart right here. This is a 1 day of the bubble chart. It's going to update in a few seconds here. And as you can see, Bitcoin is negative 1.9 for the day. But as you can see, Doge over there is doing something at 6%. That's probably because Twitter is now looking into accepting Elon Musk offer to buy Twitter. So Twitter is going to be going up, and that's good news. Oh, by the way, the market is open.
And
Bitcoin is 24/7. So we don't have to worry about the market opening. And of course, you have the nodes, right? So what's going on with Bitcoin nodes around the world? The nodes are active, man. So this is Europe up there above Africa. the nodes are super active, and of course you have the American nodes. Those are out there doing their own thing as well. So that's America right there. Now about 1,986 nodes out there. So yeah, we're doing pretty well with the nodes. So nothing to worry in terms of infrastructure. We don't see anything getting shut down. And of course, we want to talk about mining, Bitcoin mining. What's going on there? America. Bitcoin is as America as F-U-C-K. F-H-U-C-K.
It is the most American thing. I would say that.
I didn't say it. I just spelled it.
Like to say.
But yeah, mining is going on as usual. And as you can see, man, the hash rate is going up. But, you know, there's some transactions, man. Somebody is selling. And we'll show you some more charts on that shortly here. So yeah, we're selling. What's going on with Bitcoin? As you can see here on this chart, CoinGlass, there's a lot more shorts than longs. About 51% more shorts than longs. So people are being a lot more bearish. About $306 million is about to get liquidated. There's about 478% of that happening. Open interest, 37 billion. That's a lot. That's a lot of people trying to buy this thing, man. Yeah. Yeah. So you know, if you look at the exchanges trading Bitcoin right now, you know it's fire, man. People are literally trying to be super bearish, which then goes back to the old Wyckoff theory. This thing is showing bearish movement, is pushing downwards. You know, in the short term right now, it's super bearish, and that's the psychology that people don't even know they're playing into, right? So now let's look at the price of Bitcoin. What's going on in the Bitcoin world? Block 733, 492. That's pretty interesting. Mined per day, 900 Bitcoin mined per day. Now let's quickly look at the Alpine. We only have 106, 509 blocks. So quick shot, 90%, just to make this quick, 90% of Bitcoin has been mined, right? We only have 1,978 million, actually 1,978,000 Bitcoins left to mine. So I think the scarcity is gonna get super heavy right now. So
and the halving is coming up in a year or so. So
yeah. So looking at that, that's gonna make the scarcity, and as you know, if there's higher scarcity, that means that's good news. Now, this is one of the major rules of investing. If you want to invest for the long term and get better yields, you want to buy when everybody's fearful. So the extreme fear factor of Bitcoin, for me as an investor, it's a good time for me to start buying more Bitcoin. So this is another good index to take a look at. And then there's this one big noise out there that you're probably going to see the FUD come up again about, energy usage of Bitcoin is terrible. Well, check this out. Estimated per year is 250 terawatts per year. How's Bitcoin just doing this year? 6 to 1. So Bitcoin is becoming more green. This is great news. That's what we're talking about. I mean, Bitcoin is getting better by the day. So yeah, that's what I got for you, man, on Bitcoin today.
Absolutely. Dude, that is a lot of information going on there with Bitcoin. But you know what? All those indicators are showing that when I look at those things, I look at it, I'm like, well, you know, Bitcoin is still healthy. There's nothing going wrong. Because obviously when you invest in anything, you need to know the fundamentals of what you're investing in as well, right? So this is why I think looking at these indicators, looking at the data on chain and seeing what is happening with Bitcoin is very important. So that's pretty awesome there. Any final thoughts before we close this one out, sir?
Well, it's good to be back.
Hey, man.
Yeah, we're going to be releasing more videos on Bitcoin and what's going on with the markets and maybe some other coins out there in a little bit.
Ooh, and actually, this is actually
good to be back.
This is actually something I'm actually excited about, and this I think is a good time to talk about it. We are going to be doing a segment. We're talking about with the Gentlemen of Crypto about doing a segment on their show. So we might be sharing some information over there as well. Definitely check us out. We'll give more details on that once we get that set up, right? So
one more extra thing.
Yes.
Plus that we have while we were sick or while I was sick.
Right.
We've also been working
I wasn't sick. I was good.
We've been working on the Stack course as well, so we're gonna be releasing that very soon too. So
yes. We have been working on that Stack course, and I am so excited for that because, dude, here's the thing: when you talk about Bitcoin adoption, when you talk about cryptocurrency adoption, here's the fact, man. we can talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies all day long, right? The smartest of the smartest people can be on Twitter all day long arguing about sharding and mining and hash power and everything else like that. The point is, not everyone wants to be a computer scientist. Not everyone wants to talk about programming and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, exactly. But the thing is, for us to realize the greatness that Bitcoin is promising, everyone has to adopt it. And for everyone to adopt it, we must simplify the information. That's why we're doing our part to help anyone who wants to understand crypto, Bitcoin especially, right? And just a general idea of what the blockchain technology is. We've created this course. We've simplified things, man. More to come. We'll just leave it there, right?
Yeah.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Brazen out.
00 out.